Hello, church family. First, I just wanted to say thank you so much. Millie and I really appreciate all your messages and emails and texts and things like that. We are feeling great. Yes, we got hit with COVID, but we're doing just fine. I'm still a little bit nasally. I would say the biggest bummer, to be very honest, was not being able to say goodbye and thank you to Carrie. Carrie and Bill and the family have done so much in our church since before we even started. And I just really wanted to thank her personally, and I was so bummed that I couldn't be there. I saw online Vic did a really good job, but I would have loved to have been there. We would have loved to have been there just to say a big thank you. But what that means is while Carrie moves on to this awesome new adventure in FAM, there is an open position for our kids director. And until we find a new kids director, Melanie will be stepping into that role. Now, Melanie will be going from doing the slides to doing helping out with the kids, which means we're not going to have anybody to do slides. And so if we go to church and there's no words for the music or anything else, there's literally nobody to do it. It's clear, church, that we're going into a new season. The people that have started this church have been doing the same roles for years now, literally years, 3 years plus. And we've had the same people doing the same roles, and we're just kind of moving those volunteers around to different areas. But I'm convinced fully that you just really didn't know the need. I mean, when you go there, it looks like we've kind of got everything already figured out, but because everything's already set up. But you may not know behind the scenes. For example, Bobby Bahama comes early to go to church, and then he goes to church, set up everything. Then he goes to church, and then he waits till the second service is over. Then he goes and he helps Mike put everything away. Well, last week, for example, I was out with COVID, and Bobby couldn't be there after the last service. So Mike literally put the whole church away kind of by himself. And I think that had you known that, you'd be like, oh, okay, now I kind of know. Guys, this church does not have a heart issue. In fact, I don't know a church that loves more than you do. How do I know that? Well, you could easily go to churches probably close to your house, probably a couple minutes away from your house, and have everything done for you. You could actually park in a parking lot. You could actually put your kids in an actual room with walls and a ceiling, the whole deal. But you didn't. You constantly inconvenience yourself every Sunday just to say, I don't need all the stuff. I just want to be part of building something for the kingdom. It's clear it's not a heart issue. You have the heart. So what's been the issue? Well, it's me. Truly. I have not done a good enough job of explaining the actual need. Because when you get to church, it definitely already looks set up. It's not hard, but when there's only a couple of people doing it, it can be pretty hard. So here is some of the major needs right now. We need some help with tech. Would love to help. And Darren came to our church. He wanted to play bass, but the only thing that we needed really help with at the time was tech. So he went in to help with that. He'd never done that before. He just figured it out and started doing that. But he's been the guy ever since we started. As Melanie moves to helping out with the kids, we need somebody to hit the buttons. Melanie already does the slides. Maybe you could get there a little early just to put together bulletins or put out coffee or whatever. It's not hard stuff. After church, just stay a little bit later to help put things away. Those are actually the big giant needs right now that we have. So going forward, here's what it's going to look like. I will be there with my family at 7:30 with Bobby, and we'd love to have you there. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically set up the church. And then at 8 o'clock, we're going to have a prayer. And then after the prayer, I'm going to go out and get some breakfast burritos or whatever. We're just going to hang out before church. And then church starts. And then if you go to the last service, just stay 10 minutes. Put one thing away. Really simple. It's not one of those things you got to pray about. I got to pray about this. I think we over-spiritualize these things a lot. I mean, it's not like you go to this is a family. It's not like you go to a family dinner and go, well, before I help you with the dishes, let me pray about it and see if I can help you with the dishes. We just jump in and do it. And that's, those are the big needs right now. And that's kind of what we're going to do. So now you know. Now you know how you could jump in. 7:30 we start. We're going to start setting everything up. 8 o'clock is the prayer and breakfast burritos and hang time before church starts. After the last service, 10 minutes, put some stuff away, help put stuff down in, and we can get right out of there with a couple of us helping out. And that's pretty much it. Come early, 8 o'clock, put the bulletins together, hand out some coffee. It's really very, very basic. But make no mistake, God is getting us ready for something. And guys, right now, at this point, if we experience massive growth, we don't have enough volunteers to actually take care of these folks. So guys, we're getting ready. God's getting us ready for something really, really big. It is clear that this church, this imperfect place, for imperfect people, is doing something. Guys, this church right now is made up of people with fears and anxieties, sins that they can't really get past, messy past and messy presents, nervous about the future, relationship issues. We're just a lot of messy people. But for whatever reason, God picked you and he picked me to start something new. Why? Because there are people in our community that are just as messy. And they're saying, is there a church out there for me? And we're saying, this is a perfect place for imperfect people. For whatever reason, God chose us, this motley crew, and he said, this is the group. This is the group that's going to build my church in South Orange County for people that feel like they have no other place to go. This is it. I am so privileged and honored that I get to serve alongside you. So let's do it. Let's show up this Sunday ready, with our hands up, ready to serve. I love you so much, and I can't wait to see you Sunday.